Welcome everyone. I see a ton of people commenting what I'm about to show you in my comment section, and I just have to make a dedicated video responding to this. If you ever have someone, in a Twitter argument or in the YouTube comment section tell you this exact phrase or something along these lines, send them this video to shut them down, right? The comment goes along with this, right? Jailbreaking is dead, so you should just switch to Android. Or sideloading is dead, switch to Android. You can see this is one of the comments I saw right here. And guys, let me just tell you a little story, because I listen to these fools and I switched to Android, and you can tell by the tone of my voice how much of a mistake this was, right? So first of all, just in case you don't believe me, let me open up the camera app. This is my daily driver tablet for over a year, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus. And there are a couple of things you need to know about this if you've never used an Android tablet before. First of all, right, app support on Android tablets is actually terrible. If you open up Twitter, you can only see one tweet in your timeline. Usually on iOS you see 4 to 5. A bunch of applications are portrait mode only, and so what that means is they'll force you to use the app, even though you're in landscape mode, they'll force you to use it in portrait mode. On iOS, if an app's portrait only, you'll be able to view it in landscape mode still. It's just so fucking ridiculous, right? And then it gets even worse. The processor on this tablet is 4 to 5 years behind Apple. Right, this tablet released in late 2020, and this tablet from 2017 has a faster processor than this tablet. Like, I mean, guys, what on earth are these Android fanboys thinking? Oh, Android took it seriously. 4 years behind in the processor department, right? And then it gets even worse, right? Because I just want to mobile game, which is why I use an iPad. So I bought the Tab S7 Plus to mobile game. And you can't even mobile game on Android, right? Let me give you some examples here, because you can load up the games, but Call of Duty Mobile, you can see right now I'm in this view right here with the keyboard attached. In order to play Call of Duty Mobile, I have to detach the keyboard first step. Second step, I have to flip the screen like this. And if I don't flip the screen like this, the touchscreen will not work in Call of Duty Mobile properly, right? So when I'm swiping to aim, sometimes the swiping will just glitch out. It only works inside of landscape mode. I kid you not, I have never lost a 1v1 in COD Mobile. The first 1v1 I ever lost, the only 1v1 I ever lost, was on this shitty tablet. It's so just terrible. But it gets even worse because Fortnite, right? You know how on Fortnite on the iPad Pro, even the 2017, you can run it at 120 FPS. Well, on this tablet, you can't even run it on the lowest graphic settings at 90 FPS. It's just so crazy how people think Android is better than iOS. I have used this for over a year and I suffered so heavily. It's hard to imagine. And then it gets even worse. You thought it was over. You thought it was over, right? So I have been praying that Android and these wankers would actually fix this issue. You see this trackpad right here? The trackpad is like so just bad. So you know how when you swipe, right? The trackpad itself isn't meant to move. Watch this, right? So I'm gonna do a 2-finger swipe. You can see every time I do a 2-finger swipe, it moves the fucking cursor. Look at this. Look how terrible this is. And this only doesn't happen if you swipe at the very middle. So to use the trackpad, right, you have all this real estate. You can only use this little area right here, and it just doesn't end. It really never ends, right? Because you see here at the top, you can't even, it's like you have to put like your bloody whole finger, you have to stab your case just to click on the top. The bottom, because it's really easy to click. The top you can't click. You don't have this issue on the iPad. You only have this issue on these shitty Samsung tablets. And then it gets even, it just never ends. Seriously, you think it would end, it doesn't even end. So here's the thing, right? If you were to press Control and keyboard at the same time, it's one of these buttons, right? If you were to just use the fucking spacebar, sometimes it would switch your language, right? And they still haven't fixed this issue to this day. I'm not joking when I say this. By pressing the spacebar too quickly, instead of using space, it will switch your keyboard language. And you can't fix it. In order to fix it, you have to get a separate keyboard from the Play Store, like Google Keyboard. You have to, it's just so, I can't believe people actually say Android is better than iOS. But then you may be like, okay, what about the phone? Well, guess what? I switched to an Android phone too, right? I switched to an Android phone too. This is the Samsung Z Fold 3, right? This phone cost me £1,100. I traded in one of my old older devices. I think it was like the OnePlus 7 Pro. That was a good Android phone, by the way. I'm not gonna say it wasn't, but I'm just saying this Z Fold 3 is so much worse than, where is it, my iPhone 13 Pro Max, which is over there. You can see this phone, right? This phone's actually good. I use it to record videos with. This phone, well, let's talk about it. So here's the problem with this Z Fold 3. It's just a fucking Android. Android is so just shit. Like, you know when you type on the keyboard, right? I'll tell you a little secret. iOS uses AI in order to predict what letter you're going to type next, which is why when you use a keyboard on iOS, you most of the time you'll hit the right keys you want to. Android to this day doesn't have that feature. Typing on Android gives me brain damage. It really gives me brain damage, right? You don't have iMessage, but you can use AirMessage, right? And you know, okay, that's not the end of the world. But then you want to play games on Android. Android gaming is so terrible. The operating system, when you like swipe across, like the speed you swipe was always different. And guys, I update this was the thing I forgot. I updated this thing to the latest version of Android. This phone is 6 months old, right? And it performs the same as this fucking piece of shit iOS 12 iPhone 6. This phone is 7 years old, and I'm updating this 6-month device to Android 12 with the latest Snapdragon processor made it the same speed as an iOS 12 iPhone 6. Guys, Apple just never fucks up this badly. Android is for Muppets with brain damage. I'm not even saying that as a joke. I think I had actual brain damage because when I switched back to the iPhone 13 Pro Max, I was just thinking to myself, why on earth was I actually liking this, right? What I see on Twitter are these Samsung fanboys. They are all activists. They should be going into politics because of how, hardcore they try and make people convert to the Android ecosystem. If you use Android, you are a Muppet. That's the end of the discussion, right? Seriously, guys, I have tried to enjoy Android. I used this tablet for 8 months. You can see more than enough proof of that. I've used this phone for 7 months. Well, since pre-order date, which was September, so October, November, December, January. I used this phone for 5 months. These Android phones are so shit, and I just can't believe people tell me, oh, you should just switch to Android if jailbreaking is dead. You should just switch to Android if sideloading is dead. Guys, fuck off, seriously. Oh my god, I'm so done with this. Like, anyway, just do not switch to Android if you're on iOS. Do not get brain damage. If the only people who use Android have brain damage. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye bye.